What is going on, everybody? It is your boy VG coming back at you with another installment of Vanguard Nightly News. Today we have our hosts again, Shark Hunter, DFS, X-Timmy 2x, Panistan PTV, and VG. Welcome back, guys. Hope you guys did enjoy the first episode. And we're back here talking about sports to start today off with. Shark, take it away.
Game number one, since we did not have a Thursday night game, all the games were on Sunday at 1 o'clock starting. So Texans versus Titans, final score was 36-42. Game went to overtime, thanks to a last-minute touchdown by Ryan Tannehill to A.J. Brown. Probably the biggest play of the game was the Derrick Henry 90-yard touchdown. Literally ran up the middle, broke one tackle, and I don't know how else to explain it. This dude is literally a defensive lineman who has a 4.5 40.
It's just fucking crazy. Monster.
Literally. Derrick Henry's going to single-handedly carry this team.
Oh, yeah, exactly. There was absolutely no defense in this game. I mean, Ryan Tannehill had 364 yards, 4 touchdowns. Derrick Henry, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, which his second touchdown was in overtime on a direct snap from about, 7 yards out. Backup tight end Fiersker had 8 catches, 113 yards, and a touchdown due to Jonnu Smith coming away with an ankle injury.
Sucked for fantasy.
I believe that they said that he'll be back, but that's really about it for them. Oh, A.J. Brown also had 5 catches, 56 yards, 2 touchdowns. On Houston's side, Deshaun Watson, 335 yards, 4 touchdowns, and Will Fuller, 6 catches, 123 yards, and a touchdown.
Both quarterbacks had a great game.
This was a very good game by both ends. Tannehill beat Watson in yards by, 30? That's about it.
Essentially, this game was essentially a shootout.
Yep. It was a full offensive game. That's all they had.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. So the other thing that came away from this game was starting left tackle for the Titans, Taylor Lewin, the Titans have confirmed that he has torn his ACL. Of course, he will be out for the rest of the season. That is going to be a huge blow to that line.
He is a very key factor of that line.
Especially now that the Titans are now 5-0. This is just a bad timing for the Titans, and I envy them very, very much.
So that about does it for the first game. After that, we had the Bengals and Colts. Final score was Bengals 27, Colts 31. Rivers and Burrow combining for 684 yards and 4 touchdowns. An unbelievable game by both of them. I know Rivers had 3 passing touchdowns. Burrow had a rushing touchdown. The Bengals scored a lot on the ground. They didn't give him a lot of yards, but they were able to just punch everything in short. T. Higgins and Joe Burrow connection is still one of the big things after probably the last 2-3 weeks. T. Higgins having 6 catches, 125 yards. A.J. Green finally showing up after a few weeks of not being really showing up at all, honestly.
Years.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is the first time he showed up in a minute. But
so last year he had his injury and he was out for the whole year. But
he's been injury-ridden for like 3 years.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
But
2.5. I get what you're saying.
Something that happened in that game that I only got notice of because I had one of the players on fantasy was Joe Mixon went out at one point with an ankle injury.
Yes, so he left the game, ankle injury. Giovanni Bernard came in. Didn't do much on the ground, which Giovanni Bernard is mainly a receiving back, scat back. But they've already came out, and I believe they said that Joe Mixon is going to be fine for their next game. So
good.
Nothing to really worry about. Moving on, we had Falcons versus Vikings. Final score was Falcons. Yeah, Falcons 40 and Vikings 23. Falcons, of course, getting their first win. So that's congratulations to them, of course.
They didn't blow a lead this time.
No.
Oh my God.
I was waiting to say that.
I would say the big thing from this game was how good Falcons defense actually played in this game. with 3 interceptions from Kirk Cousins, which I'm not going to say that Kirk Cousins is a great quarterback. I think he's terrible. But whenever you can still force 3 interceptions, I think he still did good. So,
and this is them at healthy, right? Or are they still injury-ridden on defense?
They still have 1 or 2 people, not key factors. Their key players on defense are all back, but they're about 90% way back, I would say.
I still feel like Jones is still in a terrible position on that team.
Which of course this game he had 8 catches, 137 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Which one of those being inside the red zone, they actually threw to him in the red zone. So brand new, I don't know what's going on. Must be a new coach there deciding, hey, let's throw to probably the best receiver, one of the best receivers in the NFL in the red zone. But still had a great game. Justin Jefferson with the Vikings, rookie, of course, from LSU, had 9 catches, 166 yards, and 2 touchdowns as well.
He had a really good game.
You could definitely see from the Vikings side that they are definitely missing Dalvin Cook. They're on a bye week this week, and they said they expect him to be back for week 8. So not much to worry about with them having basically him having 2 weeks off.
Yeah.
I just honestly don't think that Kirk Cousins wasn't worth the money. Maybe at the first season, but like the second season, he was slightly better, but
he's had like one good season, to be honest.
Yeah, I think
that's when they had the Minneapolis Miracle.
Yeah.
I would agree.
Yeah, that's about it.
So after that, we had the Broncos versus the Patriots.
Oh, God.
This was completely, we have a couple games here that you're going to hear from us that are going to be short and sweet. And this is probably going to be one of the first ones. And it's literally, this was a field goal fest and defense. Like, no one could get anything started on either side. Cam Newton struggled, which with this being his first game back from COVID. Drew Lock struggled with this being his first game back from I believe, an AC joint injury for missing 2 or 3 weeks, but glad to see both of them back out there. I think both of them struggled just because missing that much time and everything. So I wouldn't worry too much if you do have them on your teams as well, but I think they'll both be fine. It was just first game back, you get basically your star quarterbacks back. They're going to be rusty. No training camp and all that stuff. It's kind of like what you kind of expected with most of the rookies this year.
Cam shouldn't have been that rusty, though. Compared to Locke, Cam should not have been that rusty.
I would agree, but with the COVID, you have to stay away from everybody. So it's not that I think that he'll be this way for like next week either. I literally think this was a one-time thing, and he'll be fine. He literally, I believe that he threw 1 interception in the first half, and possibly, I think the second one was at the end of the first or maybe early third. But after that, he had a pretty good game. I know he had a rushing touchdown. So, like I said, I think it's just a one-time kind of thing.
You also have to keep in mind that these two teams are actually pretty good defensively as well, on top of that.
Oh, yes.
Especially the Patriots. Patriots got hella corners, and, he still had a linebacker. Hightower is still there, right? I believe.
I believe he opted out.
Yeah, I think he opted out.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry, my bad. I totally forgot.
There was about 7 or 8 players from New England's team that opted out, but even without Hightower and everything, they're still a good team. It's just because
it's called good coaching.
They got Gilmore over there on defense as well, so
yeah.
Yeah, but Gilmore had COVID too.
Yep. But
sad thing.
It's crazy with how COVID is going around. Literally, like one player after another are all missing out. So it's COVID. I don't like it.
No,
don't like it at all.
Oh Jesus! I literally just saw. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay.
Never mind. I just saw something. Go ahead. My bad.
So, next game we had Washington football team versus the Giants. Giants getting their first win, 20-19 against Washington football team. The Washington scored at the very end of the game, and instead of kicking an extra point, I believe they tried to go for 2, and of course Giants stopped it. But this game was completely a snooze fest. I mean, just from the stat line, Daniel Jones led both teams in rushing.
Hell yeah, Daniel! Let's go, baby.
That's not good at all. You if you got, I mean, just no, you can't do that.
Both teams are terrible at defense. We already know that. But if
Unless
Daniel Jones, go ahead.
Unless if you're Lamar Jackson and you're just running all over the place, there's no reason why a quarterback is outrunning both each one or the other running backs. That's not.
I mean, that depends, because some teams are weak against quarterbacks who can run, and are really stout against like running backs in general. Just because of formations, they switch it up. You go 4 wide, have the quarterback run, do a quarterback draw, something like that. A lot of teams are weak against it.
I would agree, but in my opinion, Daniel Jones leading both teams.
Oh, I agree. It's terrible, but like I'm saying, some teams are just like bad when it comes to quarterbacks who can run.
Yeah, that's literally about it for the game. I mean, Scary Terry had 7 catches, and it's almost about it. That's literally the highlights of the game. Moving on, we had the Ravens versus the Eagles. I know that Vincent over here is excited about his Eagles.
Can I put my paper bag
close.
on? Like, I'm happy about the score,
It's
but
surprisingly close for the teams.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Comparison.
What the final score was doesn't go. I'm trying to think of how I'm going to say this. Basically, I was not expecting this at all.
No.
With how many players are hurt.
That's when I put my paper
Eagles
bag on.
Team. With how many players are hurt for the Eagles, you would not expect it to be this close. So Eagles, of course, have
tackle. That's all I got to say.
So, if I remember correctly, all first through fourth receivers, all out. First, second string tight ends, out. First string running back with Miles Sanders getting hurt this week, out. Which also, Zach Ertz got hurt. He'll be out 3 to 4 weeks with a high ankle sprain. I believe first and second string left tackle, left guard, first string right guard, and first and second string right tackle all out as well. So it's literally Carson Wentz
and Jason Kelce
and the practice squad. Yeah, yes, exactly. Carson Wentz, Jason Kelce, and the practice squad against the Ravens. That's literally what it was.
You alright, Chase?
So,
no, I'm not. I'm not okay. I'm not okay. I'm gonna be completely honest with you.
He's like, let's not talk about this, please.
Carson Wentz still had a decent game. Ravens played basically prevent towards the end of the game. That's why they kind of started coming back. But doesn't matter at the end of the day what was the score. They started coming back. The main thing from the Ravens side is Lamar Jackson is still not having the season he had last year. Now, we kind of expected this just because everyone's starting to catch up to how he plays. But the only other news about the Ravens from this game was Mark Ingram left the game with an ankle injury. They said that he should be having an MRI either today or tomorrow. So more news to come on that one.
Which in turn actually hurts Lamar too, because they kind of would trade, I guess, runs or reps at who would run the ball. And with Mark Ingram being out, that kind of pushes aside the run pass option that they have going on over there.
Which they drafted J.K. Dobbins, who's good, but they start whenever Mark Ingram went out, they started using, I believe it was Gus Edwards. It was either Gus Edwards or Justice Hill. I think it was Gus Edwards played the most between the others, but J.K. Dobbins played a lot more. I'm expecting more from him starting this coming up if Mark Ingram is out. Yeah, I know week 1 he had 2 rushing touchdowns, so I expect him. That's the reason why I mainly expect him to get a lot more touches from coming up.
He's a rookie too, right?
Yes, he played for Ohio State last
That's what
year.
I thought. I was gonna say that name sounded familiar. I'm pretty sure he ran all over Michigan. But anyways,
moving on, we had the Browns versus Steelers. I mean, not much here either. Steelers defense shine 7-38.
Who here chose the Browns, by the way? Because someone chose the Browns.
the boy up in the top right-hand corner of me.
Oh, Mr. Timmy the 2 times there?
Mr. Timmy 2 times choosing the Browns against the Steelers.
Can I get my paper bag now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I called this like as soon as I saw the thing. I was like, the Steelers defense, one of the best in the NFL, if not the best in the NFL when it comes to all categories.
Mm-hmm.
And you look at the Browns, they're specifically run first, and it's like, you're not running on the Steelers defense the way that it's going right now.
You're not
But
running
you
on
also
TJ
gotta
Watt.
I gave him a chance.
It was a dumb chance, but...
It was a dumb chance, but it worked.
Granted, it was a dumb chance, yeah, but I mean, still a chance, yeah. So.
But you also got to remember, yes, they are a run-first happy team, but you also got to remember, no Nick Chubb.
Mm-hmm.
True, but Hunt has been playing really well since he's been in there.
Oh, yeah. He is
on my
actually
fantasy.
There. I honestly don't think Chubb would have done too much better. I mean, I obviously think he would have done somewhat better, but I don't think he would have done too much better.
I agree.
Speaking of the Steelers defense, I feel like that the Steelers defense can't have a linebacker because Devin Bush going off with an injury, with what's his name, Chazier gone, and then now Devin Bush with an ACL injury. That's just. I honestly feel like the Steelers.
This season's just riddled with injuries, and it basically goes back to no training camp.
And the whole COVID thing.
Yep. An injury that's gonna hurt them though is that Baker got pulled after his injury.
Yeah, Baker got so of course Baker left. I believe he had a rib injury coming into the game. He was questionable. And I think he came in, and I think they said he left with a ankle injury, which that could have been just a cover up with anything. He was playing bad. He had 2 interceptions. They went ahead and just pulled him. So was it just him playing bad, or was it truly an quote unquote ankle injury? I don't know. They haven't reported much else about it. So I guess we'll find out here soon. But that's about it for the Steelers game. Moving on, we have the Bears versus the Panthers. Actually, it was a really good game. Bears were actually underdogs to the Panthers, who I'm actually surprised. But final score was Bears 23 and Panthers 16.
That shocked me.
I am literally seeing memes all over that.
Who chose the Panthers here?
Did I?
Did you? Or was it Mr. Timmy 2 times again?
I would have to look at the thing.
He's
looking away. He looked away.
He's looking away.
Hey, y'all look, I can't hear y'all.
You gotta go to bed now?
Yeah, I gotta go to bed now.
Listen, Tino made a bet with me saying that we wouldn't even get 3 of those picks right, and we got 4 out of 5. And that's only because no one was expecting Rodgers to have such a terrible game.
We'll get to that later.
Tino had to reset his rank in Discord at this point because that was the bet. Even though I didn't actually even say deal with him, he told me I'm a man of my word, and then had Chase reset it.
Yep, while I was getting food, by the way.
Yeah.
So going back, the memes that are going on is this is the worst 5-1 team that I've ever seen. Which their offense, they look bad. You also got to remember Tariq Cohen being out with the team. Tariq Cohen was a huge factor on their team. He actually was top 5 in reception or in actually targets last year. As a running back, he was top 5 in the whole entire league with targets. So when you take that out of your offense, that hurts you a lot, obviously. So, but the thing is, the Bears defense is literally carrying them, just like kind of like they had They struggled last year, but this is kind of like the Bears from 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They're a really good team. They're going to force turnovers. The only other thing about this game, of course, another week gone, another week closer to getting Christian McCaffrey back on the Panthers. Now, if I remember, they said that he should be back by week 8. So two more weeks.
Yeah, they said
so 2 more weeks. Yeah. So, but the stat line that actually blows my mind is after, of course, 6 weeks now, Robbie Anderson is second in the NFL in receiving yards.
He's popping off this year.
And who would have seen this coming, too? I mean, we all thought that it was he's just a solid receiver, coming from the Jets. But then all of a sudden, you put him in a new system, and it's like,
who's this guy?
Who?
Like, I remember him.
Hey, Robbie, I'm glad you showed up.
I know. I remember he would always sit on waiver wires in fantasy. Like, I know we don't usually talk about fantasy, but, like, this is just something that, like, really hit me was no one would pick up Robbie Anderson. Like, he'd have a good game here and there, but, like, dude is second in receiving yards now. He is doing good for himself this year.
So I actually drafted him in 2 of my 3 leagues late, and the only reason why was he did shine in the Jets, which is unheard of, obviously. First of all, Jets are horrible.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing was, when Teddy Bridgewater came into Carolina, he actually reached out to the GM and to the coach, and he said, I'm not signing unless you bring in Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson's a free agent. Me and him are good friends. I want him here. And I was like, you know what? Round number 10, 11, whenever I drafted him, I mean, he's gonna be a person that fills my flex spot in week 9 whenever I have 75 players out. So now I have a receiver 2, receiver 3 on my team when I'm already stacked. So it's crazy how good he is playing, and no one expected it. So moving on, we had Lions versus the Jags 2. I don't care what anyone says.
Terrible game. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, Lions won by double what the Jags put up. That's cool. I don't care. The Lions are still bad. The Jags are even worse.
Now,
so the main thing here was DeAndre Swift with 116 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns, rookie from Georgia.
Yeah.
Besides that, this Jags team is looking horrible. I know there's a lot of injuries on their defense, but I mean, at what point do you just say, yeah, we just need to go ahead and rebuild?
There's injuries all over in the NFL, and at this point in time, you can't use that as an excuse.
Nope.
Next man up. That's the mentality.
Yeah. Now, kind of shifting over to the Lions side of things. Y'all think this is Patricia's fault? You think it's their coach? You think it's the coaching? It's going back to the Caldwell era. Like, Caldwell, everyone didn't like him, but he still, like, had a somewhat winning record. Mind you, it wasn't winning. Lions never on that spectrum of the things. But compared to Caldwell and Patricia, like, who would you rather have in this situation to lead your team?
Neither.
Okay, well, yeah, duh. I mean, given the options, probably Patricia. I just never really been a Caldwell fan.
Like,
I honestly don't know why they got rid of Slay.
I don't know why either. I'm happy because he's on the Eagles, but I don't know why they got rid of him.
I completely understand why you'd be happy, but Slay was like the fucking man of that defense, and then you trade him away instead of giving him some support at linebacker.
That's like them getting
financial. I thought it was financial problems.
No, they just didn't want to fucking pay him.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, okay, well, we could use the money from you on other people. It's like, you realize that he would have taken a cut in pay as long as you actually gave him someone that he knows would assist that team.
That's like Lions getting rid of Quandre Diggs, their hard-hitting safety. Don't know why they got rid of him. Like, I literally, when I saw that, I was like, are y'all trying to rebuild?
Well, speaking of the next game, the Jets,
Dolphins, kind of just shift into that with rebuild.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna go ahead and just roll into there. I will say that I just don't understand why the Jets are just even an organization right now. It's just pitiful. I mean, it's just pitiful to look at.
Who's their head coach?
It's not entirely their fault though.
It's Adam Gaze.
Yeah. It's not entirely like the team's fault. Like if you look at all the people that backed out, a majority of their like top tier players were like, I'm not playing. I don't want to catch COVID. I apologize, to all the fans and stuff. But like COVID fucked up that team, like defensive wise, especially.
Oh yes. But
nothing you can do about it.
No.
Oh no. Main thing to take away from this game, Fitzpatrick had 191 yards, 3 touchdowns. By the way, Dolphins won 24-0. Had 2 interceptions. After his second interception, Bybee pulls Fitzpatrick, puts in Tua. So Tua comes in for one drive. He had a decent drive to end the game. It was at the very end of the game, but the Dolphins have came out today and have said that Tua will be the starter after the bye week this week. So
I think it's too early.
What should we expect exactly? Okay.
I was going to say that.
I think it's too early because, I mean, think about it. I mean, what's the Dolphins record? What, 3-2 or something like that?
They're 3-3.
They're 3-3. Okay, yeah. I mean, they're 500. Okay, but I mean, they're not doing terribly bad with Fitzmagic, But it's just, I just don't believe that Tula's ready yet. But I mean, that's
going back to that. Like, I think that they want to get him. Because who do they play after bye week? Who are they going up against after bye?
I'll have to pull it back up. So give me one.
Let me
second.
see.
I don't remember who it is.
So after
maybe
their
Pats
bye week,
I just don't understand why. Like, it's
Rams. They come out playing the Rams as their next game. Rams has got a solid defense.
You got Aaron Donald coming at you, man.
Aaron Donald is a fucking
hey, welcome to the league, son.
Literally, he's gonna get his welcome to the NFL.
The thing
he is.
I feel like they're like, well, Fitzpatrick has been in the league a long time. I don't know how much longer he's going to be with us.
That too.
Like it's more, I think, them trying to give him the confidence in playing in the league, considering there are so many people that are out who are very dominant normally. And they're like, well, give him some sort of room or some sort of confidence to play in this league, because if we keep him out the entire season, then who knows how well he'll play, and who knows how Fitzpatrick's going to end up this season, because everyone knows after Fitzpatrick gets paid, that motherfucker normally goes downhill.
Plus, like, going off of what you said, he's a wild card. You never know if he's going to have a good game or a bad game.
Yeah.
No. He's literally a roller coaster. He'll have 3 or 4 good games. Yep. And then have a bad game. He'll get benched. 2 will come in. I mean, just look at what he did in Tampa Bay.
Panic him bad for that because he used to pay for the bills.
he did, and to be honest, a majority of the time he played really solid. It was, I mean, he like 3 touchdowns on average.
Yeah.
Like in a majority of his games, but at the time Buffalo didn't really have the defense that Buffalo had like the past few years, not this year obviously, but you look at Fitzpatrick back then compared to now, it hasn't really changed too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, at least when it comes to touchdowns, because he still does get a decent amount of touchdowns normally in a game. It's just now there's more interceptions than you would like, because he is a gunslinging quarterback. He's a lot like Brett Favre in a way.
He's confident.
Like, I see a guy over there, I'm going to toss it up and hope that this guy gets it.
Mm-hmm.
He essentially is Yayi-ing it.
It is a really good thing at times, because you're like one-on-one, I want my receiver to make that play. But at the same time, it's really bad because sometimes he doesn't look off the safety just slides over and it's a pick. It's like you are good at times, but I understand why they would name Tua a starter, because they do want to give him confidence and everything. And I also understand why they want to pull Fitzpatrick back. Because they're like, you can help coach him from the sidelines. You've been in the league long enough. You can help him figure out coverages. Like, it's understandable.
Mm-hmm. But is Tua going to be confident enough to run too?
I think he will. I think he's kind of be like Joe Burrow. He's going to be scared at first. I mean, you're going to be scared,
especially coming off that major injury he had.
Yes, but I think the reason why they named him the starter, not only because Fitzpatrick thrown 2 interceptions, which in my opinion, you're up 24-0, you throw 2 interceptions, okay, whatever. The game's over. It doesn't matter. But I think the reason why they decided to go ahead and go this route, he has a bye week, so now they put him in, he gets his first touches. That's out of the way now. You got your first drive done. Doesn't matter anymore. Now you have 2 weeks to prepare for basically your first start. So I think that is the real reason why they decided to go with Tua from now on.
Got to give him the opportunity.
So do you think this was planned?
Yeah.
Yes.
Eventually, they were going to name him starter.
I feel like
planned like in this
Fitzpatrick actually knew it was going to happen too, because towards the end of the game, like he was clapping, he was trying to get all the players and stuff hype around him. Because if you actually watch the clip, like he was actually excited that Tua was in there. And I feel like this was something that he was like, I'm perfectly fine with, and I want to see how well this kid progresses, because the kid does have fucking talent.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Oh yes.
And that's 2 things. Like Fitzpatrick, like had to know, like when you draft a quarterback in your, I think, was it top 5 or top 10 pick, he's going to play. Like he's going to play. Like get over it. And second of all, like I've never seen Fitzpatrick, which from what I remember, Panda may know from earlier in his career whenever he was in Buffalo, but I don't ever remember seeing him as like a troublemaker in the locker room. Like he always was hyping people up and all that kind of stuff. I've never seen him like, they bench me. Like
he's always been interactive with fans too, like regardless of where he's at. Because like when he was up here, it was he had a Twitter account. I think it was like Fix Magic's beard or something like that. He was actually just like going off, like, give me the beard of the day, send me pictures, and we'll put it up there. Like he's always been like a good sport, and he's always had fun with people. He's like being interactive, especially like when you're that high up in the community or communities, because I don't know how many, like he's played for like 13
He's
teams.
a rainbow.
Like he's almost halfway on the fucking NFL list right now with how many teams he's played for. But like,
it was like Luke McCown or one of the McCowns or whatever. He played for like 13, 14 teams, but he said it wasn't about if he started or not. It was about the journey.
Yep.
Yeah. I mean, to this day, Fitzpatrick has said that Buffalo has been his favorite team that he's played for, which, to be honest, is fucking awesome, because he's like, the fan base is just incredible, which I would say incredible as in insane.
Yeah, you guys are.
Because like,
dude, the Buffalo Bills fans are so good.
They travel well, and they're also really fucking crazy because they'll jump through tables.
I was about to say they jump through fucking tables.
And I think it's really cool that he's like, well, it's my favorite spot, but he still like takes in every single team that he's been with. So like him overall as a quarterback would be a great mentor for someone like Tua. Like even if you don't make it here, you can make it in this place, and they could actually fit your scheme better than this team could. And I mean, it's overall.
I wonder if the Dolphins
really
are going to be a good fit for Tua.
There's a possibility. It depends on how they build the scheme around him.
They have to build
young.
around him.
I think that's the main thing. Is they're very young. They have a lot of receivers. They definitely need to go out and get some more offensive line. They're not perfect. They're definitely better than Cincinnati Bengals. I can say that. They're definitely better than the Cincinnati Bengals.
They're having a good season this year, though. I'm with it. Miami.
Oh yeah.
But moving forward, I will say that the Packers. I don't know what happened.
Oh my god, this was the one that we all messed up on.
And
no one was expecting it.
Like no,
literally
no. Like okay, we all 4 of us we thought the Packers were gonna just go ahead and just clean this off real quick, but then the Bucks told us to hold them Nuggets.
No, hold the dick. That's
literally.
Hold
Brady
dick.
said, "You want to know what? Take it."
Brady looked at Aaron Rodgers, said, "I may be older than you, but look at this," and then dropped his fucking drawers.
Discount double check this, motherfucker.
Discount double check this.
He's like, you know how you put that belt around your waist? Imagine that's how it feels when I put this condom on this dick, alright?
Oh wow.
This game, I
'Cause
mean,
he
Bucks won
fucked
it.
that team. Like overall, like Brady didn't have like a great game, but
No.
it was like the defense was fucking stupendous for the Bucks, which we haven't seen at all. Like Shark and I actually talked about this earlier. Like we hadn't seen this at all. The Bucks were like, yeah, we play okay defense.
We can
And then
play ball.
And now this game, they're like, we're playing one of the MVP candidates of this year. Let's go ahead and show them just how well our shit swings. All right.
Like,
It's
not
like-
much happened in this, and no one's really talking about the Bucks side. They're more focused on what happened to Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, what the hell happened to Aaron
Like, what-
Rodgers? Yeah.
I don't even know. 2 interceptions, one for a pick six.
You know what? I think he was stuck in neutral. He didn't go anywhere.
So some of the main things to take away was like we said, Rodgers played bad. He had 2 interceptions, first 2 of his season. Now one of them was pick 6, and I believe I know it was the very next drive he threw the second interception, but I want to say it was probably second or third play right after the other one. But threw another interception, and I believe they tackled him at like the 5. So it was almost.
I believe it was the next play because it was like pick, and then they got the touchdown, and it was pick, and then it's like, oh yeah, by the way, here Gronk.
Oh yeah, and that was the thing. Gronkowski got his first touchdown, which they did come out and say that they've been working on playing him more. He's came out and said that how he felt like he wasn't being utilized the way he was expected and everything. So I'm glad to see him finally score, of course, with the Buccaneers, and not with this quote unquote he's a blocking tight end. That's all he is.
Mm-hmm.
So it was crazy to hear that, of course, and seeing it like just he wasn't getting the ball much. But I'm glad to see him finally score. The only other thing that really stood out about this game was the Packers starting left tackle, David Bakhtiari, had an injury. He came out of the game, did not play anymore in the game, but they expect him to be back. They said he may miss the next game, but he will be back. They said he definitely missed a serious injury, so that is good to hear.
That is very good to hear. Very good to hear with everything that's going on with injuries. To hear something is a minor injury, it's a blessing. I'm telling you.
Oh yeah, and another thing about let's talk about Gronkowski. I was actually surprised, and I knew that him and Brady's played a lot. Obviously, that's the only quarterback besides any other backups in New England that have thrown to Gronkowski. But I did not know that 91 touchdowns of Gronk have been from Brady. I did not know 91 of his touchdowns. I like if someone came to me and said, how much do you think? I would have said 60, 70 maybe. But if someone came to me and said, I believe they said 91 on TV, I would have been like, you can have, I'll bet anything you want to bet. So
Next,
moving on.
Yeah, go ahead.
We had the Rams versus 49ers, which I was completely wrong about this game. I expected the Rams to come out and win with all the injuries, of course, that we mentioned last week with the 49ers. But Rams lose to the 49ers 16-24. Jimmy G comes back out after being pulled last week. Like we mentioned, was it because he played bad? Was it because of injury? Who knows? But it comes out this game, 268 yards, 3 touchdowns. Kittle continued to shine, 7 catches, 109 yards, and a touchdown. But the main thing from the 49ers is Raheem Mostert, who's recently been injured, recently just came back on the IR with, I believe, an ankle injury.
Dang, what is with these ankle injuries this year? I'm telling you. Like, you got Dak out with ankle.
They're just fucking stabbing at that fucking ankle. It's like, fuck you, come here, bitch.
Dude, didn't know we were playing soccer. Slide tackle, snap your ankle? Jesus.
No, you should see the memes about Dak Prescott right now. It's like, I'm just hating it right now. Like, okay, I know we're a little bit off topic, but we're talking about ankle injuries, but they made a meme about, they took the Cowboys logo. They made one of the star tips. like this kind of like cracked, and I'm like, I wish I'm like,
was it the bottom right one?
Yeah, I know the bottom left, bottom left, but it was the bottom left one.
That should have been the bottom right.
Well, It was bottom left.
It would
but...
be bottom left from where you're looking, but that's the bottom right one.
Yeah, but hypothetically, yeah, it is the bottom right one. Yeah, hypothetically, yeah. But yeah, it was. I saw that. It was bad. But injuries this year has been awful.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So that was it for the Sunday night games. We got moved on to the Monday night games. We had 2 Monday night games. Had the Chiefs versus the Bills, who Chiefs won 26-17. Bills offense struggled in the rain. I don't think there was much to take out of it. John Brown came back, struggled. I know he had 2 or 3 drop passes. But
yeah, I honestly don't know if it was mainly because of the rain that their offense struggled, because a few drop passes, like overall from like everybody.
Oh yeah.
Josh Allen was kind of overthrowing, and I don't know if he was like trying to compensate because of the wetness, that he thought it might slip out or something, so he tried to just throw it a little harder. Defense did well against big plays, but because they were playing so far back to try to help with
overthrows.
What's his name?
Tyreek Hill.
Yeah, Tyreek Hill. They're like, we don't want him to get over top of us. They let people slide underneath, and they would just like take those short routes and get like 15
Tyreek
yards.
Hill actually had a really quiet game. So
yeah, like I said, but like overall, they let up 250 yards rushing from everybody, which ridiculous amount. Granted, at least it wasn't a fucking record that they let up right there. We ain't need no Adrian Peterson game on us that time. Mahomes, he balled out with 225, 2 touchdowns in a rainy game. It was pretty solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like overall, it was just it was a bad game for Bills offense and defensively. But I believe they play Jets next week, so hopefully they
Y'all
can get
chalk
something
that up
working
as a win.
there.
Get nice job up
as
there.
long as Josh Allen can actually play solid, because if
Allen
doesn't play solid and the defense has played this way like they have the last couple weeks, it could still be a tough game for Buffalo, and Buffalo needs to turn that around and actually realize that we need to play fucking defense. This is a defensive-minded coach, and we can't be letting that shit happen. They actually they did 2 healthy check marks this week. They pulled off Harrison Phillips and Trent Murphy from the defensive line and put in 2 rookies. And they did pretty well for themselves in that game. One was something Cox Jr. I can't remember the other guy's name, but they did really well stuffing the line when they were in. So I imagine that they'll get more playtime out of that.
Yeah, for sure. So there was not much else about this game. It was a lower scoring game than kind of what we expected with the Chiefs and how the Bills have been playing overall for the season. But
rain helped.
Yeah, rain definitely did help. You had to run the ball more. That clock's going to be running 24/7 almost. So the second game was the Cardinals versus the Cowboys, which
I'll just if you don't mind.
He watched it. He witnessed the whole thing.
I literally just I miss Dak. This is the game. This game, like if Dak was here, we potentially could have won.
I don't think so.
I mean,
I think
they
would have been better
higher
plays,
score.
I think there would have been better plays, but I don't like with the way that Elliott is running the ball and fucking just dropping it. Like he had 2 runs in a row, both going into fumbles. It's like he's sitting there like, I'm not gonna fumble the rest of the season. He told that to a reporter.
Yep.
Before the game, he's like, I'm not gonna fumble the rest of the season, and he fumbles back-to-back plays that he gets the ball.
I just don't know what the problem is. But I will say this though, Dallas looking very hopeless without Dak Prescott, and with the terrible defense, and now Andy Dalton. I mean, when you throw 54 times with Andy Dalton, that's never a good sign by any means. And then what Dallas should do, I'll be honest. Our division, which is mine and Chase's division.
Oh, you mean the garbage division?
The garbage division. Yeah, my trash can's up there. Okay.
I'm just looking at Tanner. Just
that's where the Eagles and the Cowboys are at right now. That's the whole.
No, Timmy, you got it mistaken. It's not on your dresser. It's on your wall.
The one that has 21 on it.
Oh well, yeah, and then another guy that's on the wall right now, he's hurt. So, but Zeke is playing absolutely garbage right now. He just
Especially for the money they paid him.
Oh,
yeah, exactly. Yeah, for the money that he's getting paid. But on the Arizona side, Arizona could do almost anything they wanted to.
Kenyon
Monday
Drake had a
night.
good game.
Yeah, Kendra Drake, and then
Kirk had that. I think it was like a 80-yard bomb.
yeah.
70, 80-yard bomb that just
Even
went.
though he only had 2 catches, but even though he only had 2 catches, that's the only 2 catches he needed because both of them were for touchdowns. So you gotta give it to that. But I'm very disappointed in the Cowboys, and I feel like that the organization is very out of whack right now.
They are saying that their coaches are unprepared.
Yeah, and the coaches are unprepared, and then Mike McCarthy
Players are
came
saying
out
that.
today. Mike McCarthy came out the press conference essentially saying that like, hey, we'll essentially reevaluate everything, and then blah blah blah, and then some people are saying this, some people are saying that, but overall the Cardinals did anything they wanted to that game.
They could have done a lot more.
They probably could have, and I'll be honest, like the first like 3 or 4 drives for each team, it just like seemed like, oh, this is gonna be a long stretch game, but then all of a sudden once the Cardinals scored once, they never turned back.
They kept their foot on the gas, and I mean that's show no mercy, I guess. I mean Dallas is on the reserve team at this point.
Yeah, I mean, especially when the offensive line for the Cowboys is completely shot. I mean, the only person originally that's there now is Williams, our left guard, and he was already he's just below subpar.
Frederick,
and then we lost Travis Frederick?
Yeah.
No, he retired.
Oh, he did?
He retired.
Oh, wow,
yeah,
I missed that.
Yeah, not the injury, but the thing he had last year. Like
I totally
the
forgot
year, the year before that, it really hurt him really bad, and then he wasn't the same person last year, and then he decided I'm just not gonna play no more.
Dang.
So we had Joe Looney in there. Joe Looney was out the previous game, and we ended up losing him. And then not to mention, Zach Martin was the final offensive lineman to go out. And when you lose Zach Martin, you got a problem. Because Zach Martin, I mean, they've already said that Zach Martin is top 2 right guard in the league.
He's the heart of your team at this point in time.
Yeah. And then now when that's shut off, and then now you have no Dak, and Zeke is having his issues, and it's just it's a mess. And then when your defense is they're getting scored 35, 36 points a game on. And then your offense is just totally diminished and hopeless, and it's like there ain't nothing you can do. And I'm going to be honest here. I think the Cowboys will win maybe 2 more games, and that's it. I'm being honest. I see the Cowboys going 4-12.
4-12 and still make the playoffs.
Yep.
Correct.
Because Eagles ain't getting any more wins. I'll tell you what.
It's so unbelievable how terrible your division.
Garbage our division is.
Okay. I know this might not be in this segment, but I want a Dak Prescott versus a Carson Wentz comparison. If we can do this real quick, and then I will have to leave.
Prescott is definitely better than Carson Wentz.
Yeah,
I'll admit to that. That's no argument.
Yeah, because there was a long.
I think you're just doing this to try to shit on Chase's team at this point.
Yup.
A little bit.
So bad on defense and offense at the moment, so you're just like, let's take this out on Carson Wentz and Chase right now.
Yeah, I was just loading in my revolver and just wanted to spin it a little.
Let's try to shoot a shot real quick.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, let's see who's better. Fucking Dak Prescott or Buffalo Bills quarterback Josh Allen.
I don't know.
Josh Allen.
Josh Allen.
He is the better quarterback.
I'm gonna be honest. I'm the lone wolf on this one because obviously Panda's gonna pick Josh Allen, but I think Dak is better. That's just me personally.
The thing is, you're going that off of fan base. I'm not going off of fan base.
No, I'm actually not going off of fan base. I actually think that Dak Prescott's better than Josh Allen. But now, does Josh Allen have
I think
a way better arm? Hell yeah, he has a cannon. But
seasons. Dak Prescott has definitely had better seasons, but overall, I think Josh Allen is maturing into a better quarterback overall.
Well, we'll see.
Well, yeah.
But
he doesn't have a broken
guys,
he doesn't have a broken leg.
I have to go. So I think the gentlemen are going to be switching subjects. I'm not too sure, but
yeah, we are.
I am out of here. I have to be up early in the morning. But hey, guys, thank you for coming out to the Vanguard Nightly News. I'm going to be out, but they're going to continue. So y'all three, see y'all later. Bye, everybody.
See you, Timmy.
Y'all take it easy.
Thanks for hanging out, man.
Hey, no problem. Y'all take it easy. Bye.
Okay, so switching gears here to the more gaming
sit back and relax
prospect. Tanner gets to just sit back and listen to us.
Careful, don't stand up. We know you're not wearing pants.
Oh, no.
Oh! But first thing that we kind of want to get into is we finally have a look at the PS5's UI. And as Panda talks about that, because I'm sure he's kind of got a list of things that he wants to...
Well, to be honest, the UI isn't actually, like, huge. I think it's definitely better than the PlayStation 4 UI. The gaming has its own category now, and the media has its own category. So it's not like you have to go in and go to TV and video to go to Netflix or something like that. You just click up off of the UI and then go to media, and it will have all the categories there. The PlayStation Store is integrated onto the UI itself. So when there is a new game that gets put in there, it'll actually be within an update, which will probably take 2 to 3 seconds to get put onto the store when you start up your PlayStation. The way that it works is you just slide far left like you would normally on the PlayStation 4, and then just click down on the D-pad or analog stick, and there is the store. You're able to search everything from there. It is pretty much seamless. There is no click, wait.
No 5-minute wait times anymore.
Yeah,
I noticed
like,
that the most. It's like
the PlayStation loading thing, like X, square, triangle, circle. So that's actually like taken away, and now it's just games right down below where the PlayStation Store logo is actually at.
Now, now, I know that you guys can't see it, but they can see it in the video. We can kind of see the opening screen. As the PlayStation first boots up. You got pick your users and everything, and I can say right now, looking at it, that is so much cleaner than the PS4.
They also do have a new function on it, to where the person can share their screen, and you can actually move the shared screen anywhere on your TV or your monitor, and then just play your game seamlessly. You can see what they see while you're playing your game. So it's actually a really cool function. It could be a bit OP depending on what you're playing.
Yeah.
Like you're playing like a tactical shooter. You have someone's screen on top right, another one top left, bottom right. And you're just like, I know where this guy is. And you see it. It's like, oh, well, now I know. That could fuck up the opponents. They could just not allow that during multiplayer games, which I think would probably be a better solution. But overall, the UI looks smooth. By what I saw, it's seamless in transition from game to game. Overall, it'll take about 5 to 10 seconds to go from one game to another, and you can actually transfer that game back, and it'll actually start where you left off.
I would also like to say this footage is not mine or anyone here's. This is taken from IGN. I appreciate it's on YouTube. We got this footage from IGN's video that they uploaded. So if you guys want to see a little bit more, we're not going to show the whole 15-minute video that they have, or 11-minute video.
Forward. I don't remember what part in the video it is.
But right now they're kind of showing how you can switch between different things as something's going on. And the game will stay running in the background. We're just going to kind of skim through it. Game running in the background. Total progress on the trophies and everything.
Yeah, they will actually show you what you need to do, depending on how well you've played that game before, because they show, like, Little Big Planet, or whatever it's called, Sackboy Adventure, I believe. They show that.
They show Destruction All-Stars.
They show how well you play, or have played in previous game modes on that game, how long they think it will take you to get that trophy. And they will actually give you information on how to get that trophy. So it's actually a really good way for them to try to make you progress in the game and get achievements throughout.
Can't wait to see them say just give up.
Just like, oh yeah, you want this one? Yeah, no one has that one yet.
Dark Souls, complete this without dying once.
Good luck.
Just give up.
The video just plays. Good luck. So that's kind of it on the PS5 UI. I mean, there's not much really that we know more about it from that video. I mean, it looks like you can go have 2 games or have multiple games open and be able to switch between those games and keep the same progress without having to, oh, I'm going to switch games. Let me close application.
Yeah, it's gonna
reopen
pretty
a new
much be
application.
seamless. Yeah, it's gonna be seamless going from game to game, which is actually a lot better than the PlayStation, where it's like, do you want to suspend this?
Or
no, I don't want to suspend this. I want to watch fucking YouTube. Keep that up, because I'm trying to figure out something that I need to fucking do real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
But again, big thank you to IGN for posting that on YouTube. It really helped us out to kind of give you guys a visual of what it is instead of us just talking about it. You guys actually got to see it. I know it was something you knew that we implemented compared to last nightly news. And I mean, tell me down in the comments, or tell us down in the comments what you guys think, if you guys want us to do that again for the next one, so then you can kind of get a visual of what we're talking about, because I know Tanner has someone that takes highlights and stuff from football games for the week of the NFL or whatever. We could have those playing up as we're talking about the game.
Yep.
But just let us know in the comments on what you guys think about that.
There is another thing here. World of Warcraft getting delayed. I know, Chase, you and I have played World of Warcraft. I don't know if Shark has at all. That was pushed back.
Shadowlands.
I'm a bit of a nerd. Yeah, I'm a bit of a nerd. They do have some of the stuff out for it right now. They just do not have the new areas and stuff like that.
At this point, it's just a waiting game.
Yeah, one game that Shark is a bit irritated about, the Outlast Trials. It's estimated between 2 to 4 players, because they haven't really announced it, but I'm guessing 2 to 4 because that's a normal player base for like co-op games.
It does. Going off the picture I pulled, it looks like it's a 4-player survival type deal.
Yep.
It's only available for PC as well, which is what has Shark irritated.
I mean,
so Shark might have to spend a little bit of that money and get a PC here.
Yeah.
I mean, going back, I played like the demo of Outlast 2. I've watched all the Outlast, I've watched people play through them. I don't know how they're gonna implement like this. Like, I wonder if it's gonna be something like Phasmophobia, where you got to figure out something, or you just gotta try to escape.
I think
By the
it's
way,
legit.
it is
just like
storming like a motherfucker out right now.
I think it's legit. Just you and your team, because I imagine that it's going to be like, well, you're all going on a helicopter. The helicopter crashes. You're at this asylum or at this place, and you need to try to figure out a way to get out without dying. They might make it so that if you get captured, your teammates have to get you in a certain period of time, otherwise you die. Something like that could be implemented, which could be a cool little aspect that they do to make sure that other people still have a chance to play even after death.
Oh, definitely. Like, yeah, I can kind of see that, like, being able to, like, maybe as they're dead, like, operate cameras or something like that. Being able to still interact with the other survivors while being dead or whatever.
Well, I imagine that because Outlast is sort of like a spoopy game, as it would be called, and
Spoopy.
they do have like spirits and all that other shit in there. So they probably could make it to where there's like a little respawn beacon. Let's do Apex here, and just like bring back your soul to your body wherever you were killed at, or something like that.
I like the reboot van.
Get your reboot card out of here, Shark.
Also, they are doing a remake for the old school Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time game. I used to play that. I haven't seen anything about the remake or anything like that. I just saw that it was announced. Resident Evil Village, which they released the video about, actually looks pretty dope. I don't know, because some people were speculating that it's going to be 1 to 2 player co-op, which could be very interesting. And if it is like that, dope as shit. One more game.
Hold on, let me just throw up the Resident Evil Village.
Okay.
Which that art right there that I pulled up,
fantastic.
That looks amazing.
If you actually watch the trailer, which we could do after this year, the trailer is very it's great graphic wise. Like it's stupendous. The way that they
might save
implement
that for
everything in
after.
there, yeah, the way that they implement everything in there is fantastic. Godfall is another one,
yes.
which I found out is 3-player multiplayer.
Interesting.
Which is really cool. They have different things in there. I thought it was like supposed to be some like medieval knights game, but it actually turns out that it is I guess like sorcery RPG style game where it's like earth, water, fire. Like they're playing Avatar: The Last Airbender in this bitch.
Oh, that's gonna be dope as shit.
It does. By what I saw from the video, it looks pretty awesome.
I mean, this is a game though that we literally like. There's been nothing really talked about this game.
Well, I've seen some things about it. Like Sony released like a little teaser trailer. Like it was just like, oh, here's these knight helmets, and it just like put it out Godfall, and I'm like, well, what the fuck is that? Like, how am I
Kind of
supposed
like
to
the
know
picture
if
I have up right
this?
now.
Yeah, it's like, how do I know if I want to play this? The game itself, because by what I saw from the trailer, looked fucking incredible. The mechanics and stuff, by what I saw, I don't know if that's going to be like in-game mechanics, but it is for PlayStation 5, so it's a possibility.
Mm-hmm.
The movement looked really good. So overall, I'm just it looks like something that if we played, we'd have to finish through. Like there'd be no stopping at that point, because it's like, we do this, I'm not gonna want to. If I cut off a motherfucker's head, I'm like, I want to kill the next person. The abilities and stuff look fantastic as well. By what I saw, there's like a tornado, something like that. Some fire. I don't know if it
Fire
was
tornadoes
lava or something, something like that. I don't know if they actually implement the elemental connection. But that would actually be a dope concept.
Kind of like how Spellbreak has those like you can combine different spell types and elementals to do different things.
Yeah.
Another game that I'm excited for though, Deathloop.
It's actually the one I was going to talk about after this next one.
Oh, okay. We'll wait.
Elder Scrolls 6.
Here we go.
Which is going to have the biggest map out of any Elder Scrolls game, by what they announced. Also, the graphics looked fantastic by what they showed. And I do mean fantastic. Elder Scrolls has not been like great graphic-wise. Like, it's been decent, but it has not been like great. And by what they showed, the graphics look fucking fantastic. I did not see too much gameplay, because they did show like a little snippet. But it wasn't like something to where I'd be like, oh wow, that looks fucking dope. Like, that sword fighting looks incredible.
Now, with the fact that Microsoft and Bethesda they signed a deal, do you think that this will be on PS4?
I do.
You think that even though they signed a deal and everything, you still think that the Elder Scrolls and Fallout and everything?
Microsoft wants more money.
Oh yes.
They're going with what they're doing with their Xbox, they see a way to be like, well, you don't have to pay full price here, so you can actually buy more games. And that's what they're going to play at, because they're like, well, you pay this much a month, you still have a little bit extra, you could go ahead and throw it on this game. Or if, they're like, well, PlayStation users, because that's what I'm going to get once I feel like the PlayStation 5 is ready to be bought for me.
Optimized. And
I don't think I'm going to buy it immediately, based off of all the track history from both companies being like, oh, well, as soon as it comes out, it breaks down relatively quick.
Oh yes, 100%.
So I'm like, I'll wait a little bit, wait until they get the little bugs figured out, and then as soon as it's available, I'll get it. Microsoft is going to take complete advantage from getting this contract with Bethesda, and they are going to run house on both servers. Actually, fucking 3 with PC, because they're going to make it for PC. They're just going to be running house with that, because Elder Scrolls is a very...
this game is going to be the biggest game.
It's a large game, and a lot of people do want to get it.
Now, I do know, I don't talk much about the gaming, of course, but I did recently hear that, which this is kind of what you expected from Microsoft, when they were asking, do you think that the Elder Scrolls would be able to profit even without the PS4? Because they were just like, make it without giving it to the PS4 people. And of course, you would expect this answer, but of course, the Microsoft people were like, "Oh yeah, we can do it without them. We don't need them."
Well, that's the thing, because it's like you want to say yes,
but you also
want money.
Yep.
Yes. but the reason why they're saying yes, we can do it, is because they're just trying to mind play you and be like, "Oh, I really liked Elder Scrolls. The only way I could play it, from what they're saying right here, is to get an Xbox or a PC."
Yep.
And that's all it is.
Or it's basically the same situation as I saw this tweet actually today. It was crazy that I don't even know why it came up on my feed, but it was like someone asked Marvel's Avengers if it's ever going to come to Xbox, and they replied, Avengers dev replied, the Xbox has the option on PlayStation. And it's like, okay. And then someone tweeted it and said, Elder Scrolls 6 devs say PlayStations have the option on Xbox. It's like, you bastard. Don't do this to me.
I legit think it'll be fine. I don't think they're going to pull away from any console.
I hope not.
Because the game is such a popular game, they're not going to be like, well, all these people over here don't deserve this game because they're on that console, when they could actually make such a bigger profit from giving it to all consoles. And PC, obviously, because they're going to fucking do that. So I don't see a world where they're like, nah, we're good on the PlayStation side.
Yeah. I think it's going to be strictly like they're going to go after what can we do to make the most sales. They're going to sell that shit on Steam. They're going to sell that shit on Xbox, PlayStation. Every possible way they can sell it, they're going to, because everyone's going to want to grab their hands on it.
Yeah, to be honest, I have kind of thought about getting the Xbox, mainly just because they're releasing a new Fable for it, and I was a huge Fable fan.
Same, dude. Fable was a great game.
I used to play that all the time, and I'm like, I am a fucking demon, bitch. Give me them horns, all right? Like, I ain't no angel. You're not giving me that Halo right there. It's like, Fable I used to do the worst stuff, and I love the concept that you could, like, people would actually treat you different depending on how you acted throughout the game. I thought that was a great concept. I feel like that should happen through more games.
Kind of like a Telltale series, like your decisions make an impact on the story.
But we can get past this point here. Now it is time to the game that you wanted to talk, Deathloop.
Just found out about this game today, and I already love it.
There's actually only one more game after this one, so we're good after this.
Yeah.
So Deathloop is a very interesting game. I don't know if you have the picture up right now, Chase.
I do.
Deathloop is a game where you have to constantly try to kill your target. They give you multiple ways to do it. There are multiple targets in each mission. If you kill a target too early, it could cause the mission to end up differently for you, causing it to where you can mess up on the kill later for your second target or third target, depending on how many targets they put in each round.
But this is multiplayer too, isn't it?
Yes, it is multiplayer. Here, let me read this for you, because it is a Wikipedia post, so I will read the.
Oh boy.
I'm not reading the entire thing. Deathloop is an upcoming action game developed by Arcane Studios and published by Bethesda. Also, which is what we were talking about earlier, don't know if it's coming to PlayStation because they did sign the deal. It should be, because they did announce it before the deal was signed.
They say they also did a trailer that was a PS5 first look, graphic-wise.
But it said it was to be released initially for Windows and PlayStation 5 in mid-2021. The latter having the timed console exclusive deal, which most likely will switch. But if they already had a contract with Sony over it, I doubt that'll end up switching, because it is an ongoing contract. But the way that the game works is pretty much as I said. You kill a target, you have to work on the next one. There are multiple people that will try to kill you and prevent you from getting to your target. If you die, you have to restart completely over, which is an interesting concept as well.
So from what I've gathered, especially watching the trailer, go ahead.
I was going to say, also, each person has specific abilities. One person can be better with guns. One person can be better with other things like traps or whatever the case may be. I believe there is also some sort of magic. I don't think it's like fireball, stuff like that, but I do believe it is some sort of magic there.
But
they said it was they said they tried to make it a little bit like Dishonored.
I was actually about to say that, kind of think of like a Dishonored or a Hitman multiplayer, where you have a target that you have to go after. You can either go after sneaky and try to get a nice, cool assassination, whatever, sniper from the building, dead. Or you can just go balls to the wall and just see what happens. Which, when I did play Hitman, that's what I always did. It was fun.
I never played a Hitman game. The way that it's set up, it's a bit like Hitman, in that aspect. But it being a multiplayer could actually be very fun, especially with the ability stuff set up the way that it is. We'll just have to see. We'll just have to see how it works out, because it says it's like an alternative take on Groundhog's Day.
Interesting.
Okay, so the last game that we are going to talk about is Dying Light 2. No idea when the fuck it's coming out.
Basically in the dark on this one.
Which is sad, because
Tomorrow.
the game itself looks incredible by what they showed, because they do have a trailer. I had it sent to me earlier. It is a 22-minute gameplay trailer. There is a bunch of different aspects that they added, some new parkour, some new weapons, combat mechanics, stuff like that. The game will also depend on your selections. Like, if I want to go help this person may die. That could cause the story to change throughout it. The progression itself will ultimately change, which could also change what you get from that person in the future, if you were able to anyway. There is some very interesting mechanics when it comes to buildings, because some will collapse from certain points from you running on them, because obviously more weight,
Hardcore
more
parkour.
pressure. The parkour is actually really cool. They also now have some rope mechanics in there. You can jump, grab ropes, which is excuse me, really cool. There is a new thing where you could swing off of it could be like a pipe or whatever from above and land on top of a zombie, and it'll actually take some fall damage away from you if you are too high up.
That's cool.
If you tackle a zombie and you're too high up, you will actually use it pretty much like a bed, and that will nullify some of the damage.
You're still gonna take damage, but
yeah, you take damage, but it's not going to be as significant.
That is an interesting mechanic. I like it.
There is now UV lights, which can cause damage to zombies, which interests me, because in the first one it wasn't really like that. Like, they were able to be out during the day. I'm not sure if it's because these guys are the ones that only come out during the night.
But I do remember that one.
Yeah,
they're specific zombies that do come out during the night, and I don't know if that's why they're affected by the UV. There's also like UV flares now that they put in too, by what they show in the gameplay trailer. It's very interesting. You just toss on the ground, only lasts a few seconds. Zombies can grab you while you're climbing up walls and pull you down now also.
Ooh, I actually really like that mechanic. That way people can't just try to run away by just climbing up a wall.
Well, if you get up the wall quick enough, you're good. But if you try to go slow, you're going to end up getting pulled down.
So it's kind of all based on momentum. You got to make sure if you're trying to run away, keep your momentum.
It is a parkour action style zombie game.
I was bad at the first one, can you tell?
The first one was actually a really fun game. Shark and I talked about this. We never once glitched for money in that game.
Never.
Never once. But we did have a lot of stuff.
That's what made it fun, though,
What we both said. It was a very fun game, especially when you had people to play with. And with this one, it will be, I'm pretty sure, 4-player co-op again. Shark will have to deal with my dumbass running into groups, just pulling zombies his way.
Same.
Just like the first one, we won't be cheating at all.
Never. What's a glitch?
Yeah. I will never once use my power for anything bad.
No, never, Panda.
But yeah, overall the game looks fantastic by what they've shown. Especially considering it was in like the alpha state when they showed the trailer.
Oh yeah.
And I imagine that the graphics will increase for the PlayStation 5, Xbox, Series S, and PC.
They're gonna optimize it any way possible.
Yeah, we'll just have to see it
Mm-hmm.
when it comes out, because I imagine there'll be a bunch more mechanics than they showed previously. So
At this point, from what I've noticed with every game that's coming out, like either you're coming out of nowhere, Phasmophobia, anything else, you know, like, or we're just kind of left in the dark in this point. Like, it's all going to, we're just on a waiting train for the PS5 and Xbox Series X to come out. And then people don't want to make games for PS4 and Xbox One.
the thing is, those they still have games, like, because they're like, we have to optimize it because not everyone's going to buy it, especially now considering COVID is going on. So they're like, well, we have to optimize it for the people who can't get the newer systems because they're out of work.
It's like Madden and NBA. They have it to where if you buy it on the old console, you get it on the new console. I know Call of Duty's doing that same thing. You can pay an extra $10 to be able to get it on the PS4, Xbox One, and then when you get the PS5, everything's just going to transfer over, or the Xbox Series X.
Which is a very cool concept. I think it's amazing that the companies are doing that. I'm actually surprised that they're doing that because they do take money. Yeah, they do take money loss in that regard, but it is still a very positive thing, and it shows a bit of positivity within
humility. I think that's the word.
No, I was saying like positivity in those channels, because the majority of the time it's more money. Which is
it's very good to see like a big name company like Treyarch doing that.
Well, I mean, with how much money they've gotten over every single Call of Duty that has pretty much been the same, apart from like zombies, because zombies are really the only thing that's changed apart from stupid ass mech suits that they released, and then they realized, oh, that was a fucking issue.
Speaking of zombies, like really the last topic, I know any of us play Modern Warfare anymore. Like not any of us in this group, including Timmy, we don't really play Modern Warfare anymore, but for I think the rest of this month, really, I'm not sure, but they're doing a haunting in Verdansk for all you Warzone players that do play Call of Duty. You essentially, I don't know if any of you guys played Apex either, but it's basically Apex's version, or Call of Duty's version of Apex's Halloween event, that when you die, you turn into a zombie, and you can actually get revived in Modern Warfare, from what I've seen. There are things scattered across the map. I think they're purple icon. I'm not sure. I have not played it yet, I've seen a few people play it, but I have seen that you can get revived and stuff like that, and I don't know. People are having a lot of fun with it. They have the Saw pack in there now. They have the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and I think they're getting. I think that's it for now. But I don't know. It's something cool. It's something cool that's not Treyarch, but Infinity Ward, right?
Yeah, Infinity Ward. Treyarch does
Black Ops.
Black Ops, yeah.
Yeah, it's something cool that Infinity Ward's doing for kind of the ending of Modern Warfare 2019. So if any of you guys are Modern Warfare players, I would highly suggest you guys go check that out. It is a cool new take on Warzone. I might even check it out myself. I'm not sure yet, but
I'm not re-downloading that on my PlayStation.
I really am thinking that same thing. I'm not gonna lie. But
I'm also not re-downloading it on my PC.
I'm thinking that same thing, but well, guys, that kind of wraps up the Vanguard Nightly News episode 2. I hope you guys did enjoy it. As always, leave a like, comment what you guys want to see in the next episode. And if you guys really did enjoy it, make sure you press that nice red subscribe button down there as well. This has been VG, Shark, and Panda. We'll be signing off, and we'll catch you guys all next week. Peace.
Yeah, yeet.